Hey guys, it's Angela, and I'm here to do my Pretty Little Liars Season 6, Episode 6 recap of No Stone Unturned. So backed by popular demand is going to be the 5-minute recaps and then my theories toward the end. And I already have my timer set at 5 minutes, so let's jump right in. Make sure the volume is up. 5 minutes are on the clock, and now I gotta pull up the notes. So Hannah is the only liar really being proactive about tracking down Leslie because she is their lead in this episode, as we all know. And she wants to know what Leslie's up to. She wants to catch her in the act. And she's the only liar really proactive about going after who they think A is. And at this point, I'm so fed up. I just want the girls to all get together and go after A. But they have other concerns. Emily's too busy up Sarah's ass, and Spencer's worried about her sober coach. And then there was a birthday card to Mr. De Laurentiis from Charles found under his windshield. So if you've heard of the spoilers, they say that it's in the mailbox, but that would be incorrect. That is an incorrect statement. It was under the windshield. He grills Emily, who's just tra-la-lalling on her bike, who the hell put this there? I was about to drop the F-bomb, but I stopped myself. Leslie works in a science lab as a teacher's assistant at some college, and Caleb sees a lump on Hannah's neck, and she just shrugs him off, and she and Spencer are going to Philly to track down Leslie Stone. Okay, and Hannah is in Philly waiting on Spencer, and she decides she's going to borrow Leslie's car. She pretends that it's her car to get it from the valet, and Spencer finally arrives, and they start to go through it. They find a box with so many fake glasses in them, and also 4 large animal cages in the trunk, which Spencer says they're for us. And I'm like, dude, she works in a science lab. Are we still going down this Leslie is red herring road? Okay, great. Call me when it's over, because I'm over this. But I have an interesting theory about Leslie, which we will get into in my theories section, so be sure and stay tuned for that. Aria randomly sees a doll. She's back at the junkyard with Emily, and Emily has to leave because Sarah needs her supervision to take a shit, I guess. And Clark shows up. He says he'll stay with her. Aria tells him that she's looking for a tripod when this is a lie, and she sees a doll there. I don't know if she's seen this doll before, but she goes over to it and picks it up and immediately flips it over like she knew what was going to be there, and it is the tennis ball doll of Aria that we've seen A make in the last episode with a knife through its eye. We get a new character named Nicole, and she wants Emily to come work in Thailand for 8 weeks. And I'm like, Emily, jump on it. It's a chance to leave Rosewood, girl. You better go. But Emily is hesitant. She asks if she can bring a friend, and later on Sarah says she can't go, so Emily backs out like the giant pussy-whipped chick she is. Trying to refrain from cussing. And Ezra spotted Aria's doll when he came over to drop off her submission to the photo contest, from way across the room. Diana and I were talking about this on Twitter, and it's just Ezra is a sketch factor for me, and he was kind of sketchy for her, but now she's kind of ruled him out. But Ezra is my ride or die A. You guys know this, so I am having trouble ruling him out, even though she pointed out the timelines do not match up, and I agree with that, but I still have to go with Ezra. Okay, I have 1 minute left. Dean is trying to hit on Spencer, and she doesn't look like she's having anything of it. Another thing the spoilers got wrong. We have a sexy Caleb scene in this episode, which I was really excited about. I was just, oh my god. Oh, yes. Okay, and then all the girls, minus Emily, go to the science lab where Leslie works. Hannah lets out, they find out the chips, first of all. Then Hannah finds out she has to track her, or Spencer figures it out. Then Hannah goes and lets out all these animals. And the raccoons are so cute. They have little raccoon hands. And I was just like, oh my god, hands. And anyway, Mona shows up and she says Leslie's not crazy. Leslie's not Charles. She's just trying to pretend that she's not crazy. We found out Leslie hated Bethany and only heard Charles's name one time, which is the night that Bethany escaped Radley, and she left with Charles. And at the very end of the episode, Mr. De Laurentiis gets we find out what's in the birthday card. It's basically it's from Charles telling him, hey, Dad, I'm throwing a party to die for, for just you. And so obviously Charles is alive. Mr. De Laurentiis earlier in the episode was looking through doctors' names, and that time's up. But I'm going to finish my thought. He was looking for doctors' names to find out who could have covered this up. So that is basically it. That is the episode. I'm trying to see if I missed anything to talk about in theories, but I don't think I did. So here's my first thought. Okay, we find out that Charles escaped Radley the night that Bethany did. So they both just went out the doors of Radley together, singing Kumbaya, camping out in the woods, eating marshmallows, yada yada, boo-hoo. But if Mrs. De Laurentiis faked Charles's death, he would have been dead, supposedly, long before this happened. So how could he have still been at Radley? Okay, I get that he could have been put under a different name there because she was on the board. She could have easily doctored this information. But wouldn't a worker at Radley recognize this person? I mean, you would logically think that if Charles, who has been in Radley since he was freaking 6 years old, is still around, somebody would pick up on it. Unless Mrs. De Laurentiis is like Regina in Once Upon a Time and keeping Charles down in the basement like Regina did with Belle. But I don't understand how nobody could have picked up on the fact that this kid was Charles when he was supposedly dead. It just doesn't make sense to me. And also Mona realizing that Charles's records are faked because of the drugs he was on. Nobody would want his organs. Mona's super smart, so I don't put this past her. I actually thought that Mona should have gotten valedictorian over Spencer, or maybe even Hannah, because we know that Hannah is supposedly super smart as well. Who knew, right? Who knew? Okay, here's my theory about Leslie Stone. She had at least 10 pairs of fake glasses in her car. She's obviously going out of her way to convince people that she is mentally competent when she is one flew over the cuckoo's nest, if you guys know what I mean. As we saw when she was screaming at Mona last episode, maybe, I think. Anyway, could there potentially be a connection between Jenna and Leslie? Okay, hear me out. Remember that day when Jenna was at the park and with Mona and somebody pulled up in the car and we still don't know who that person was? Could this potentially be a connection to Jenna? I mean, I know we haven't heard her name in a super long time. We haven't seen her. Mona was channeling her last episode with the sunglasses look. And then we remember Sydney was dressing a lot like Jenna, and somebody tampered with the eyeglasses chart. Could they be trying to figure out who A is on their own? Could they also be being blackmailed by Charles for something? Because this is not a new theory. I've had this theory before. I'm sure other people have had the same theory, but I'm not sure. I'm sure, but I'm not sure. Okay. I think other people have had this theory before, but I'm not sure. So, could Jenna be being blackmailed for something? That's why she needed Sydney to dress like her double to get the attention off of her, and Leslie be a part of Jenna's group. This is what, don't ask me why, just the eyeglasses stood out to me so much. And I was like, wow, I immediately thought Jenna. I was like, Jenna. Like, what is going on? Do you guys think that Jenna could be playing with Leslie in any way? Could Jenna be tied into this at all? I know it's kind of a crazy, far-fetched out there theory, but I don't know. I really like that theory. That's just me. It probably won't be at all, but whatever. And last thing before I talk about something else really quickly. how cute was it when little Ricky Raccoon was eating his Cheetos, and I was just like, I know I mentioned this in my 5-minute recap, but oh my god, little raccoon hands. I love little raccoon hands. They're so adorable. I love them so much. Okay, getting on to the last bit of this video, which is going to be my discussion of the spoilers, aka Drunk Gate. If you do not want to be spoiled, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys tune in next week. I really appreciate you watching. Leave your thoughts down below. But that's a fair warning. So I'm going to start talking about spoilers now. So for those of you that don't want to hear anything about them, I understand. And I will see you next week. Goodbye. Okay, now moving on. So Drunk Gate happened, and this person basically was saying all these little answers that we would get, and then the big reveal of who is who is Charles and who is Black Veil, with Charles being Ren and Black Veil being Melissa. And first of all, this did not make sense to me because, okay, well, I mean, I can see Ren being Charles, and I'll be really pissed off if if these spoilers are accurate. I will be really pissed off, you guys, because stuff that this person has posted on Reddit does not make sense to me. Like, they're saying that kind of like a Shutter Island thing where Leonardo DiCaprio was allowed to play out his fantasy of being a detective. Ren was allowed to do the same, first at Radley and then at the hospital. No, like, that's the biggest inconsistency for me. Because if you're going to allow this, where did HIPAA go? I guess just way out the window. You cannot give someone that is non-medical personnel access to another patient's file. You cannot do that. So if these spoilers turn out to be accurate, I'm going to be highly, highly pissed off. Okay, I'm not discounting Ren as being A. I'm just saying if the spoilers are true, it's stupid. I'm sorry, it is. And I thought Black Veil was supposed to be Endgame. I want to say Marlene told us we would find out who Black Veil is in 6A. So what are we going to do for another season and a half? You know what I mean? Like, I would have thought Charles would be revealed and then later Black Veil would be revealed. But I guess that's not going to happen. Screw logic, right? This show, you guys, just gets on my nerves so bad. And yes, I really did not like this episode. I was bored as hell. I squealed when Caleb got together, and that was pretty much it. Like, they're not giving us answers. It's making it hard to theorize about anything anymore. I don't know. I'm really disheartened by PLL at the moment. And honestly, last week when it wasn't on, I didn't really care. Sorry, that's just my honest opinion. Okay, one last thing about the spoilers, and then I'm going to leave this video. Marlene went on Instagram and posted a picture. I'm trying to pull up the picture right now for you guys. Let's see. She rebutted the Drunk Gate spoilers with, no one has been fired, no one has leaked the identity of Charles. Which, after Dollhouse was spoiled for us, she didn't say a word. She was quiet. So this kind of makes me think that maybe they are not true, that maybe that's why she's taking a stand. But then again, later that same day on Instagram, she posted a picture of, like, karma, and there was a quote beneath it. So maybe this was an indirect slap in the face to who revealed these spoilers. I don't know. I just don't know why she would post that without a good reason. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the spoilers are true? Do you think they're not true? Me personally, I don't think they're true. I hope they're not true. But yes, I think that's where I'm going to leave the episode this week. I really hope you guys enjoyed the 5-minute recap again. Please sure to leave your thoughts down below. My big question this week is, do you think Leslie could have anything to do with Jenna? Could have been the person that was meeting Jenna at the park, and could have been the person in the hair salon with Mona. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.